Hi, my name's Michael White. I'm the creator of Oz Entities, and I'm here with you today for another Mentoring with Michael session. So last week I introduced you all to the concept of the four elements: air, fire, water and earth, and how these four animals that I've selected, the dolphin, the eagle, the kangaroo and the wombat, are reflective of those elements. It's also important to remember that you are all four of the elements, just not in equal measure. One of them you'll have a natural predisposition for. And so when I talk about these types, you may not readily identify with some of the things I'm saying, and you might easily identify with some of the other things that I'm saying. So take on board what you need for your own personal well-being and leave the rest. Maybe somebody else will benefit from it. Anyway, for you dolphins, take time out to care for yourself, your own emotional state. We dolphins, because I am one, we spend far too much time looking after the important people in our lives during times of stress. That can cause us even greater anxiety as we take on the emotional responsibility for other people's happiness. Try not to do that. Look after yourself first and then look after others. For you eagles, monitoring your thoughts is hugely important, especially when we get bombarded in the news of all the negative things that are going on around us. We have between 50 and 60,000 thoughts a day, according to NLP practitioners. So it's important for you to make sure that at least half of those are positive thoughts. You can't do that when you're bombarding yourself with the news. So look for good news stories. And for you kangaroos, being cooped up, I know how difficult that can be. I've got a couple of kangaroo sons, and confinement, well, that's very difficult for them. And during this time when the sporting clubs and the gyms are all closed down and people are being told not to go out and not to socialize, that can be very difficult for the kangaroos. But you've got to get out there and get back into your bodies. Make sure you're exercising in some way, shape or form, even if it's a solitary climb up a local mountain or walk along a beach or go for a jog. Make sure you're doing something to keep yourself physically fit. It's important for your immune system. And for you wombats, I touched upon this last week with my tips for types. The wombats are the most prone to worry. Worry can deplete the nervous system and in turn deplete the immune system, leaving you vulnerable and more open to what's going around at the moment. Sometimes the best way to break out of a worrisome state is to actually do something. Do something positive, particularly for other people. You wombats are great at helping the community at large. So is there somebody in your neighborhood who's doing it tougher than you that you can actually help? Because by helping others, paradoxically, we end up helping ourselves. Look, like I said, we're all four elements. Just one plays a dominant role in our personality. So when I post my tips for types later on in the week, see which one speaks the loudest to you and take notice. It's been a pleasure seeing you again, and stay safe.